Hello and welcome to this cookery demonstration. We're making Alfredo sauce, which is an Italian sauce, and it is traditionally made out of butter and cream and parmesan. So no, this is vegan, and this is very light and very tasty and healthy actually. So we're going to boil 250 grams, which is about half a typical cauliflower. And we're going to boil it and make it really, really soft. So that's a little bit of salted water that I've had coming up to the boil. And that's my 250 grams in there. So let's just wait for that to cook. Meantime, into this food processor, we're going to measure. So it's just sat here on my scales. These scales are amazing. I think these are what you'd call commercial scales actually, but they take up to 8 kilos and they can have batteries in, as these do, or they can be plugged in. So I would advise these. Why? Because a lot of scales now are like sort of little square and flat, and you can't put anything big on them, because if you do, the readout is covered. I find that a lot with these small Salter brand scales and others like them. This here is a proper scales because you can see what's going on, nice and big, you know, and helpful. So get yourself some of these, 20-30 quid. It's not very much really, probably not much more than a set you just want to hurl out of the window. Yeah, I'm quite intolerant of minor things like that being wrong, but that's because this is my job, I guess. So we've got 125 grams of plant milk going in. So that's liquid in the sauce. So your typical Alfredo would be cream, melted butter. Yeah, it's 130, it doesn't matter. Then we put in a tablespoon of lemon juice. What have I got here? This is the Aldi oat. You can use anything, use your preferred. It will affect the flavour. And you know, unless you're absolutely desperate, probably wouldn't use soya. So this here is half a teaspoon of miso paste going in there. This cauliflower now is boiling. Won't take long to cook. Cut it small and then it'll be quick. Having a bit of a cauliflower day. I've actually just done a short film demonstrating how to make cauliflower rice. Let me just bring that little bowl into shot. This is cauliflower rice. Here we go. It's absolutely lovely. Really, really nice alternative to everything else, basically. Really healthy as well. It's not the cheapest bowl, is it? Your average cauliflower is £1.10 to £1.40, and so this is half a cauliflower. So at the end of the day, it's quite expensive compared with, say, a couple of bits of rice, a couple of bits of bread, or a portion of rice. But as you know, that aside, it is lovely, and will go with a whole host of dishes. So yeah, check out that. Pop that off camera over there. Check out that film. Actually, it's a good one to have. All these things, you know, when you're learning to cook, which is what we're about. We're not just here to learn how to cook specific individual recipes. We're learning how to cook. Full stop. Cook. And therefore, being able to cook cauliflower rice, being able to cook an Alfredo sauce, being able to put a lasagna together, stews, dumplings, pastries, cakes. You don't have to have stews, dumplings, pastries, cakes every day, but it's all about being able to cook and the confidence that brings to you, and how much that enhances your life and your health as well. You know, it is so. I just have to rescue that. It is so empowering to be able to cook, and yeah, so these sorts of dishes are where it's at. Right, so we just peeled a couple of cloves of garlic. This is the end of a garlic. I get these big ones from Asda. They're so easy to peel. You know, these cheap ones at Aldi, I love my Aldi, you know that, but these ones from Asda are better. Look at that big clove, you know, really, really easy. And actually, to be honest, I think if they just sit in a kitchen for a week, they get even easier, because I think the inside dries off a bit and it gets away from its sticky exterior. So I'm just slicing those up a bit, but they're going in the Magimix. Now then, as always, I am going to say that the Magimix is the thing. Right, okay. And the Magimix, I got this when I was 30, I'm now 50. Is that right? Yes. So it's 20 years and it's still going strong. The motor inside this bad boy, it was £400 back in the day. So it wasn't cheap then. But the motor in this bad boy will last me out. And don't be afraid to use your motor, actually. You know, leave things like cashews in there for a good while. Anyway, you know, if you're serious about cooking, you just need one of these. You know, we'll easily spend a lot more than that on a mobile phone that we might replace after a couple of years. A decent thing is going to last you a long time. So do get yourself one. It makes everything so much better, as you're about to see. Now then, I have a Sage, I call it Bullet, but I think it's Boss to go, which is it's a smoothie maker effectively. It grinds spices and nuts as well. That is an amazing machine. I think they've been developed as a brand by Heston Blumenthal and it is amazing. And I've had a look. The Heston Blumenthal Sage basically have done a processor, and in John Lewis it is £500–600. That's what I'd get if I was replacing this. I wouldn't get necessarily a Magimix again because I was just worried always about quality of motors, etc. This is my second one of this, and you know they're quite brittle as well, and quite expensive to replace. So that's another thing. I went on an event and I lost my cap here, and that cap had a ball bearing in it and it sat here. So when this was down, it kept everything in place. Now this jumps. I haven't got myself round to getting a new one of those, but you know these little things do matter. So do go to, I don't know whether there are reviews, demonstrations with particular bits of kit. I once went to an Arga demonstration to see how an Arga oven would work, but you know, do shop about, read reviews, but definitely get one. But bear in mind the disposables, things like this. You know, somebody with the best one in the world might drop that and it's quite shattery. Is that even a word? But anyway, it breaks into pieces. So, you know, steady, just think about that. I have to say I've tried a KitchenAid one of these and I won't go near it again. Blocking, jamming, no. Oh, they look nice, don't they? But I don't care about how it looks. I just want it to work. So there we go. Those things are in there. Let me just think. That. Yes, good. Okay. So now we want to test whether this cauliflower is done. So is it done? Can I get a knife through it really, really easily? Well, yes. Yes, I can. I am just going to leave it for another couple of minutes though. So we're going to talk amongst ourselves and we're going to come back. So do keep checking your cauliflower. Basically, you want this knife to go through it like a hot knife through butter. You really do. You want to just be able to go, oh, I'm through. There should be no resistance whatsoever. Through. I'm through. This is just so buttery, this cauliflower now. You know, that's what you're aiming for. Don't be afraid to overcook it. Now, one thing I did forget to say is that the flavour really does come from this well-cooked cauliflower, plus the miso, of course, that beautiful umami that we know not what it is or how it does it, but it does it, and also the raw garlic. Now, what can you do with this sauce? So you finish up with a Tupperware of finished sauce. You can wrap it round pasta, dress it with rocket, cooked pasta, dress it with rocket, use sunflower seeds on the top. In fact, that's what I'm going to do, and then eat it down. So cook your pasta, dress your pasta in some olive oil with some salt and pepper, perhaps snooch, and then you've got your nice warm sauce, and then you put the two things together, stir carefully in a pan so it's together nicely but not over hot, and then dress it with your herbs or your salad or your nuts, whatever you want to do, wherever your imagination is and wherever your ingredients are. So that's how you can use it. You could do the same but use gnocchi. You could use it in a pasta bake, so you might layer, you know, we've got lasagna, we've got moussaka, haven't we? We've got, you know, that beautiful aubergine dish. That would go well. I'd just say it's quite strong. So, you know, it was designed originally, and I think it has its beauty and simplicity. So don't put it with something too strong, you know, let it speak for itself. The other thing that I haven't done is added loads of salt to this recipe, because I don't know what you're going to be putting it with. But if you're putting it with some pasta, put it together, stir it, eat it. They might need a bit more seasoning, and add its taste. If yours seems a bit thick, you might want to put it in a lasagna, which, you know, it might have got a bit thick during cooking. Just put a bit more plant milk in it. So that's that. If you burn it, well, this is the same for everything. As soon as you burn anything, just get it out. Get whatever's not burnt out, because the burn underneath can be affecting the flavour of everything that's not burnt. So just tip it out, taste it. If it's not burnt, you could use the rest of it to make more. Maybe put a bit of plant milk in to make it go a bit further. But if it's burnt through, you're just going to have to redo. You can't make this lumpy, because this is going in here, so it's not going to get lumpy. What else is going to happen? Oh, you could freeze it. Now, if you freeze it and then defrost it, it's not going to be the same. It's going to be a bit grainy. So I personally wouldn't freeze it, but if you do, just reblend it once it's defrosted. There was something else I wanted to say about it. I think that might be it. It was along the lines of, if you freeze it, it'll come to my head. Because now what we're going to do is we're just going to drain this. It's really easy to cut it. How can I show you this? Let's just see how we get on with this. So here's a piece, and that's going straight through really easily. You know, overcooked is good, to be honest. So let's get a sieve and let's get this out. And then let's get this bad boy into shot. Let's put that in there. Now then, this is going to be running for a good 5 minutes and more. So I'm just going to get myself cleared up, but that's what's happening. Leave it for ages. Okay, leave it for ages. I can't stress that enough, because after a few minutes it changes and goes quite creamy. You know, leave it for 10 minutes. Let this motor do what it's designed to do. All right then. Right, okay, so here we are. This is basically done now. You know it's done when it's really smooth. It's got some spaghetti on here, that's probably what you can hear. Got some whole wheat spaghetti on. I quite like the idea. This sauce is pale, and I quite like the idea of wholemeal spaghetti with this pale sauce on it, with some greenery on the top. That's what I'm just going to make and photograph. So test it, check it's nice and smooth. It's got some real strength to it because of the garlic. So this is it. This is your Alfredo. Now, I haven't used nooch and I haven't used cashews, and those two products are often used in this sauce. However, I don't think that it's needed. You could dress with nooch if you wanted. You could make or get by Parmesan. But I think this, in some dressed pasta, with a bit more seasoning, once you've got everything in, is what is needed. I don't think we need to be adding cashew nuts and nooch. I think nooch has got a particular flavour, and this is very pure at the moment, and you don't necessarily want nooch flavour every time. You want more of a cheesy, creamy flavour. So this is your sauce, and then now go do something with it and get creative. Put it in a Tupperware to hold it in the fridge for a day. Okay, so we're back, and I've got my Alfredo sauce here, and I have my pasta. It's been cooking, it's about 100 grams, and it's been cooking away. So let's just drain that. I had the Magimix lid upside down in that sink, so that's that water's helped wash that off now. I don't know how much sauce you'll want. I think there's enough sauce here for two, to be honest, 2 lots of what I'm about to do now. Right, okay, so the pasta's drained and I'm going to dress it. So a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. So that's where we are. That's now dressed. You could put newts, you could put herbs. Just want this very plain. And then, okay, so the rule is you put the pasta into the sauce, but no, it's not obviously not going to go in there. So pour some sauce. I'm pouring about half of this in here. We might need a bit more. I don't know. I haven't done this. I haven't done this for a while, actually, this dish, but let's just see where we get to with this. I think that's enough sauce. But you just want to heat it through. I've turned that on too high, actually. You want to heat it through. You've got raw garlic in that sauce, so you want to cook that through as well. So it's going to have to be in this, oh, it smells lovely. It's going to have to be in this pan for a bit. I'm just going to add a little bit more. Another couple of spoons going in there. Yeah, that's good now. So you want, yeah, so that sauce there will do enough for two bowls of pasta. Well, it depends. Depends how much pasta you like. So yeah, you need to let this cook through with this pasta. So keep the heat nice and low. And here's, I think somebody has just come, so I'm anticipating now my beautiful dog Georgia getting a little bit excited. Now, let's just keep that as low as we can. I mean, you know, now, if I was not cooking vegan, you know, I'd probably, well, I mean, it's got butter in it anyway, but this almost wants a little bit of butter in it, I think, to make it a bit richer. But, you know, that's your call, really. That's lovely. Okay, so we do need to just keep that cooking for a little bit more. In this pan, I have cooked, roasted, toasted some sunflower seeds, which I'm going to put on the top. Why? Because I love them. Why are they toasted? Because they're just even better than they are naturally. So, yeah, again, you know, if you're learning to cook, you might go, right, I've just got to do exactly what the recipe says, and that's all brilliant if it's well written. But you know, you can start adding things. You could have sesame seeds in your cupboard, toasted and not, sunflower seeds toasted and not. You know, you can start doing things, getting ahead, having, you know, saving jam jars and getting things toasted and not toasted or mixed up. Have a regular seed mix that you can put on top of, you know, your cereal or whatever in the morning. So, you know, cooking, I think, and being quite food aware just is about variety and having things to hand and having things sort of just being done a little bit. Oh, I'll just toast my seeds, or I'll just, you know, chop all those herbs and then they're all ready for the week. You know, getting things done in bulk certainly saves time. So now that's all good. So what might go wrong? That might have just stuck, actually. It hasn't, but it might have done. So now I want to, should have just done this before I started, actually. Well done, Julia. I wasn't going to do this bit on camera, but thought might as well. I've got that ring on still. Needs a bit more salt. You know what I'm like for my pepper. There. So I mixed all that through. I have to say that's very, very nice. So always, if you've seasoned, taste it again. I've chosen spaghetti because it's just so, it's so right for it, basically. Okay. Well, it's just so lovely. It's absolutely lovely, is this. Okay, so let's just try get this out so that you can see. Here we are. Now, that's quite hard to do upside down, the wrong way round. So I'm just going to get the rest of that sauce out with a spatula. Don't waste any. And then what you want to do is you want to get your fork in and twirl. Twirl it a little bit. So you can just see I'm putting the fork in vertically and then I'm just twirling. Why? Because it just makes it a little bit nicer looking. Yeah, happier with that. You don't need a huge amount of green. I do quite like my rocket, and I do like salad and things piled up. I've got some salad dressing here that I often, well, I always have this made up. This is balsamic, as you can tell. So steady. Oh, it looks like my hand's shaking. That's a bit worrying. So just dress the salad. I'm putting a few of these on the top, maybe a few of those round. And then let's get a little bit of oil dressed on the top. I've switched actually quite recently to a decent rapeseed oil. I just think that's quite nice. I'm just going to clean my bowl there. And that is that. So you've just watched that. It's very easy, isn't it? I think we can all agree that that's a nice, easy dish to make. I think we can all make that and enjoy it, as indeed I am about to. So thank you for watching. This is cauliflower Alfredo being made into pasta. A finished pasta dish topped with rocket and toasted sunflower seeds with a balsamic dressing, and of course a little bit of oil over the top. So that's my version. It's very quick, it's very easy, and that's what I would like to have for my lunch in 10 minutes. Okay, so let's just bring you over to have a good look at this finished dish, and what a beautiful thing it is too. Steaming freshly. Who says that vegan food is not great? Who says that you've nothing to eat? With food like that, we're happy days, aren't we? So enjoy that, and yeah, I look forward to hearing from you if you have got any comments or questions. The recipe is available on the blog, and also there are lots of other hints and tips being written there, rescue mission and how I like to eat it, which is this, and lots of good stuff. So thanks for watching. And